Okay, so if you've been following along with the Human Garage series, remember the exercises or the fascial manoeuvres that I'm showing you here are taken from the 28-day life reset from humangarage.net. So we've been through quite a lot of the core exercises in there at the moment, and obviously in that course they give you a different movement of the day, some different movements to explore. But this particular one, very interesting, because I find one side completely different to the other. So let me show you what we do. And remember, the breath is important, because if you notice your breath is up here and you take it down, like lower down, you'll feel a different experience with this movement. So what you do, you grab the skin of your shoulder, like around here. So you've got to take your arm in like so, and sort of grab up like so. Put the other hand around here and you grab the skin around your ribs. Bend your knees a little bit. Lift up, turn your head towards the shoulder that's going up. Lift your shoulder a little higher, drop the knees a little. And for me, I really feel this right around the lower ribs, right around around the hips. So, like so. Now you can stay here for a while, do some breaths, explore the breath. What happens if you breathe high up? What happens if you breathe lower down? You feel the lower ribs expanding. That's where I feel it the most. So again, it's an area that I feel like I have to continually work out. And then the next part of the movement is interesting, because here is where I feel the most kind of restriction, if you like, which is where I want to kind of hang out and breathe into. But the next part of the movement is to then take the shoulder over towards the opposite knee. And I find that there's certain points within that movement which, depending on where I'm breathing, I sometimes feel like I lose not the stretch, because it's not like we're stretching, but I lose the connection to the movement. So we're just going to go back into it again. I sometimes find if I drop the knee and then place it behind like so, and then come over, then it's different. So it's kind of exploring that area and finding where see there, I can really feel it in the lower ribs. So I'm kind of holding on to that feeling. Then come back round and come back up again and shake it off. Now for me, it feels like a serious degree of opening around the area. But again, I've been doing this for some time now, and whether it's a case of, you know, you increase the expansion maybe by a little bit and then it goes back, and you're inching it forward bit by bit. But certainly noticing a lot of movements that I'm doing, that things are changing, so that's kind of good. So let's do the other side. So again, the reason I put the hand, you know, not on here, is I find it slips on the clothes. If you grab the skin, and usually I might do this without a top on or whatnot, but again, pulling the skin up here, pulling around from the ribs, you kind of squeeze in there, raise the shoulder up a little, drop the knees, look up towards the shoulder, drop down, and then explore the breath. High up doesn't really do much for me, lower down. Yeah, this side is not as, it's not as obvious, this side. When I say obvious, I mean it's not so, doesn't feel as restricted, shall we say. And again, with these movements, you can always explore moving around, shifting the weight of the feet, moving the breath, you go, and come back round, and kind of shake it off. So when you start stacking these movements together from totally twisted, which we talked about on day one, all the way through the swinger, through the one I showed you, like so, where you kind of you're over here, moving your head. Normally you get down eventually into the deep squat, and coming up through there. They hit me. When you start stringing these together and there's no talking, you're just getting on with it. It only takes sort of 10 to 15 minutes. And the question to ask yourself is, how do you feel at the end of it versus the beginning? And for me, it's always just, heaps better. And a lot of it I put down to the breathing. Convinced the awareness of the breath and targeting the breath into different areas has been a bit of a game changer for me, because it's made me realise that a lot of my breath is like right up here. And when I look at the things that I like to do, like golf and skating, with skating as well, if everything's up here and the energy's not down here, there's less of a grounding nature. So as I tend to breathe more into here and open up through the hips, I feel like I can, my balance on the skates, especially when skating backwards, is a lot better. And we'll see what happens with the golf this season, and whether or not it results in, some improved efficiency through the swing. So that's the movement of the day today. Probably won't be one tomorrow, the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, but the final one will be on Monday, and it's a real challenge one, but a real good one, and it'll really dive into your hips. So tune in for that one, and then I'll decide what we're going to do after that. Whether I think one thing I want to do, I want to go through the 28-day life reset again and pull out some of the movements of the day, because some of them felt great. There were some really strange ones as well. So we might explore those, because it will give you a good reminder, a little refresher, especially some stuff up around the jaw, around here, and different tension spots. Really interesting stuff. So look out for that. Hope you're enjoying these sessions. We'll see you on the next one.